Hello everyone, welcome to Quiz Time. I'm Judith, your host, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Get ready to put your knowledge to test with some fun and exciting questions. Let's see how many you can get right. Are you ready? Jughead interrupts Archie saying, "Meanwhile, back at the ranch, what is he saying?" He's attempting to get Archie to return to reality. Jughead wants to talk about a ranch. He's trying to get Archie back on track. American Airlines saved $40,000 annually in the 1980s by removing olives from their meals. True or false? True. Who first sang "The Moon Represents My Heart"? Teresa Tang, Chen Fen Lan, Liu Wan Ling. Chen Fen Lan. The bluegrass music genre got its name from Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys, Kentucky Bluegrass, the Bluegrass Cocktail. Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys. Flipping a shark will make it temporarily immobile. True or false? True. Who sang the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins? Leonard Nimoy, Almeda Riddle, Walter Pardon. Leonard Nimoy. What was Helen Mirren's name at birth? Helen Mirren, Lydia Rogers, Ilyana Lydia Vasilievna Mironov. Ilyana Lydia Vasilievna Mironov. The term kayfabe is used in boxing, singing, professional wrestling. Professional wrestling. When did Pablo Picasso die? 1973, 1982, 1968. 1973. What name is associated with light, elegant furniture? Chippendale, Hepplewhite, Sheraton. Hepplewhite. True or false? In June 1937, Old Spice came out with their men's cologne. False. The product was first marketed for women. Which founding father believed that good ventilation prevented colds? John Adams, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin. The Adams style of interior design is from the 19th century, 18th century, 17th century. 18th century. Who is credited with creating the first root beer float? Frank Wright, Roy W. Allen, Frank J. Wisner. Frank J. Wisner. Fact or fiction? Sears once sold houses. Fact or fiction? Fact. Who was Captain America's first love interest in the comics? Peggy Carter, Betsy Ross, as known as Golden Girl, or Sharon Carter? Betsy Ross. The name Vaseline comes from Greek, a mix of German and Greek, Italian. A mix of German and Greek. Hot water cleans clothes better than cold water. True? False? False. Modern detergents clean clothes equally well in any temperature. In the novella Breakfast at Tiffany's, what perfume does Holly Golightly use? 4711, Evian White, Chanel No. 5. (4711). Who directed the 1940 film His Girl Friday? Frank Capra, Michael Curtiz, Howard Hawks? Howard Hawks. If a hibiscus is worn by the right ear of a woman, it means that she's single, she's in a relationship, she's pregnant. She's single. Of these quotes, which ranks the highest on the AFI's list? Why don't you come up sometime and see me? After all, tomorrow is another day. You know how to whistle, don't you, Steve? You just put your lips together and blow. Why don't you come up sometime and see me? In the Philippines, hibiscus is an ingredient used to create blowing bubbles. True? False? True. Amethyst is a superhero in Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Action Lab Comics. DC Comics. Who played Martha Jefferson in the original stage production of 1776? Blythe Danner, Betty Buckley, Virginia Besteff. Betty Buckley. True or false? 16-year-old Benjamin Franklin wrote essays as Silence Doggett, a widow who offered homespun musings on everything from fashion and marriage to women's rights and religion. It's true. In 1955, what shampoo was marketed for women who wanted her to have that radiantly alive look? Head and Shoulders, Prel, Lustre Cream. Prel. Making fudge was a popular activity at community dinners, clam bakes, women's colleges. Women's colleges. True or false? The expiration date on water is for the bottle. True or false? True. Over time, the plastic will start leaking into the water. 10 diseases have been completely eradicated. That's bogus. That's true. That's bogus. Only 2 diseases have been completely eradicated: smallpox and rinderpest. What is the pancake capital of Texas? Houston, Mineola, Hawkins. Hawkins. What is Friday's child like according to the Monday's child children's rhyme? Loving and giving, bonny and blithe, fair of face. Loving and giving. Who did Truman Capote prefer for the film role of Holly Golightly? Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, Una O'Neill. Marilyn Monroe. Who was an early developer of designer blue jeans? Gloria Vanderbilt, Grace Kelly, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. Gloria Vanderbilt. Stuart Little is a book about an anthropomorphic mouse, an anthropomorphic rat, a mouse-like boy. A mouse-like boy. The process of casting bells is called bell founding, bell casting, bell ironing. Bell founding. Who played Koichi Asano in the 1961 film A Majority of One? Alec Guinness, James Segura, Hiroyuki Sanada. Alec Guinness. The song Let's Go Fly a Kite came from which Julie Andrews film? Mary Poppins, Thoroughly Modern Millie, My Fair Lady. Mary Poppins. Gene Chandler's song Duke of Earl came out in 1964, 1958, 1962. 1962. One of the first automobile cabs in 1980s London was a yellow electric automobile. True or false? True. What is the favorite beer of the West Midlands in the UK? Heineken, Carling, Green King. Carling. Where do the title characters live in the 1985 film The Goonies? Point Reyes, California, Cape May, New Jersey, Astoria, Oregon. Astoria, Oregon. The Usheng Cup is a tournament for soccer, cricket fighting, martial arts. Cricket fighting. All national flags are either square or rectangular. True or false? False. The flag of Nepal is the world's only non-quadrilateral national flag. In what film did Sammo Hung play legendary martial artist Wong Fei Hung? Warriors 2, Heart of Dragon, Around the World in 80 Days. Around the World in 80 Days. What is Jughead's proper name? Forsyth Pendleton Jones, Freyhurst Pembroke Jones, Fiddlesticks Parker Jones. Forsyth Pendleton Jones. Queen Elizabeth was a trained mechanic. True or false? True. While a princess, she was a member of the Women's Auxiliary Territorial Service during World War II. Skittles candies were introduced in 1971 by Harry Burnett Reese, Jack Candies, Tom Sugar. Jack Candies. The owners of Cow Can, prior to getting into pet food, first owned a dog kennel, pound, fox farm. Fox Farm. What is the favorite soft drink in Australia? Bundaberg, Coca-Cola, Schweppes. Coca-Cola. The inspiration for the song Big Girls Don't Cry came from a line of Rhonda Fleming spoke in which movie? Tennessee's Partner, Those Redheads from Seattle, Tropic Zone. Tennessee's Partner. In 1932, Australia won the Great M War. True? False? True. When Packard and Studebaker merged, what were the new cars informally called? Stuttgart, Packard, Packard-Baker. Packard-Baker. Which of these did Sidney Sheldon not write? The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer, Mogambo, The Other Side of Midnight. Mogambo. The average American spends 6 days annually looking for lost items. True or false? False. The average American spends 2.5 days annually looking for lost items. What does the inside of jackfruit smell like? Pineapple and banana, kiwi and fig, watermelon. Pineapple and banana. Crisco vegetable oil was introduced in 1960, 1977, 1951. (1960). The alligator is the closest relative to the T-Rex. True or false? False. The chicken is the closest relative to the T-Rex. The average 150-pound person can burn 114 calories an hour just by standing. True or false? It's true. The George Burns and Gracie Allen show lasted for how many years? 8, 10, or 4? 8. Which of these is not a Weird Al Yankovic song? Walk Like a Man, You Don't Love Me Anymore, I Love Rocky Road. Walk Like a Man. In Fortune magazine, who was named the second most popular woman in America in 1945? Eleanor Roosevelt, Betty Grable, Betty Crocker. Betty Crocker. Betty Crocker was based on the Washburn Crosby Company director's mother, a woman of the same name. Fact or fiction? Fiction. How often was the Saturday Evening Post published from 1963 to 1969? Weekly, 6 times a year, every other week. Every other week. With the introduction of tape cassettes and portable recorders, transcription work became much easier in the late 60s, late 70s, early 80s. Late 70s. Where were the 20th Artistic Gymnastics World Championships held? Strasbourg, France. Fort Worth, USA. Varna, Bulgaria. Fort Worth, USA. Fruits and nuts were added to granola, which made it a health food that was popular with greasers, beatniks, hippies. Hippies. In 1941, what was Canada's equivalent to Rosie the Riveter, Roni the Brengon Girl, Lara the Laborer, Connie the Construction Girl? Roni the Brengon Girl. The more you eat, the more you want was a slogan for Frito-Lay potato chips, Betty Crocker brownies, Cracker Jack. Cracker Jack. In 1919, Harold Lloyd lost the thumb and the index finger of his right hand. True or false? True. Who sang the 1977 song Cracker Jack? Dolly Parton, Crystal Gayle, Tammy Wynette. Dolly Parton. Who was the first character personality that Harold Lloyd created? The Boy, Happy Harry, Lonesome Luke. Lonesome Luke. What are turnip greens called in the UK? Turnip tops, turnip leaves, nip tops. Turnip tops. Cotton picking refers to hand-picking cotton, a shoplifter, Elizabeth Cotton's signature alternating bass guitar style. Elizabeth Cotton's signature alternating bass guitar style. When was the Ballad of Cassie Jones first offered for sale? 1909, 1960, 1932. 1909. The game with marbles placed in indentations on a circular board is called what in the USA? Patience, Peg solitaire, solitaire. Peg solitaire. Cracker Barrel was founded in 1972, 1958, 1969. 1969. Who was the first and the most frequent guest host in ABC's The Hollywood Palace? Bing Crosby, Dick Van Dyke, Dean Martin. Bing Crosby. Put on a Happy Face was a song from which musical? The Music Man, Oh, What a Lovely War, Bye Bye Birdie. Bye Bye Birdie. When was the poem Cassie at the Bat written? 1921, 1946, 1888. 1888. Self-taught left-handed Elizabeth Cotton played a right-handed guitar upside down. True or false? True. What is the name of the pub on the Cracker Jack logo? Bingo, Cracker, Spot. Bingo. Where is the National Automobile Museum? Dresden, Germany. Manchester, UK. Brno, USA. Brno, USA. No triticale grain was created in 20th century Canada. It was made up by Gene Roddenberry for Star Trek. True or false? False. While quadrotriticale was made up for Star Trek, the triticale grain is real. Which car was not one of the vehicles involved in the cheeky run in the film Rebel Without a Cause? 46 Ford, 41 Chevrolet, 55 Custom Line. 55 Custom Line. What company created the Klondike Bar? Easley Dairy Company. Good Humor. Dickie D. Easley Dairy Company. Every letter in the English alphabet is used in the periodic table. True or false? False. J isn't used in the periodic table. What is the scientific term for brain freeze? Cephalalgia, immediate postprandial upper cranial distension, spinopalatine ganglion neuralgia. Spinopalatine ganglion neuralgia. What was Tiki D known for delivery ice cream in? Trucks, bikes, scooters. Bikes. What is the most expensive coffee in the world? Ospina Dynasty coffee, Hacienda Esmeralda Geisha coffee, Black Ivory coffee. Ospina Dynasty coffee. A single strand of spaghetti is called a spaghetto. True or false? True. If you touch your car remote to your head while pressing the button, you can unlock your car from a further distance. Fact or fiction? It's a fact. On which Hawaiian island is the Kona district located? Molokai, Hawaii, Maui. Hawaii. Company Q was 19th century army slang for an elite task force, the sick list, the medical corps. The sick list. What was the inspiration for the 1964 film Advance to the Rear, a 1956 article by William Chamberlain, the TV series F Troop, the 1957 novel Company of Cowards by Jack Schaefer, the 1957 novel Company of Cowards by Jack Schaefer. Mr. Magoo got into comical situations because of his nearsightedness, clumsiness, stupidity. Nearsightedness. Hermes Pan won an Academy Award for his work choreographing which trio's comedic dance? Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers and George Murphy, Shirley Temple, Bill Robinson and Jack Haley, Fred Astaire with Burns and Allen. Fred Astaire with Burns and Allen. Around 50% of the mined gold comes from Egypt. True or false? False. Around 50% of mined gold comes from a South African plateau called Witwatersrand. During the middle of the 1923 Belmont race, a jockey suffered a fatal heart attack. However, his body remained in the saddle and his horse finished the race on her own and won. Fact or fiction? Fact. By the mid-1950s, more than half of which cars were sold with Power Glide transmissions: Chevrolets, Pontiacs, Plymouth. Chevrolets.